hate y'all. So this is my super foggy, super non-YouTube, but currently about to be on YouTube AMA. I have not done an Ask Me Anything in a very long time, like years, honestly. So it's easier to maintain these when it's not a large group. And you get the freedom and flexibility to kind of navigate things differently. It doesn't always have to be one-sided on a topic. So I'm going in the order of how y'all arrived.
Oh, help. Okay.
Yes. Now, if you don't want to verbally speak your question, that's perfectly fine. There is a chat feature. So if you don't want me to be like, oh, well, this person said, you can always type it in the chat and I will respond. So I guess the first thing to kind of address, I made a video last week when I was ready to punch YouTube in the face because it was just doing me so wrong. And here I am having perfectly successful, good working Wi-Fi. So this just proves that me live streaming to connect with my fans is becoming more difficult. And I hate that. So I'm making efforts, y'all. Y'all just gotta bear with me. I'm making efforts. Really am.
Listen, you know what I'm saying. Train don't stop.
The train don't
so we
stop.
gonna find a way.
The train keep on moving.
There you go.
For those of you who pop in on my Instagrams very often and you see TJ, that husky voice you just heard, that's TJ. I know some of y'all are aware and some of y'all have never heard him before, but yeah, that's my brother. So brace yourselves, he's taken. So let's go ahead with it. Whomever might have a question, you are welcome to ask whatever it is you would like to ask. I got Idol in there on here. I got TJ on here. I got TJ's soon-to-be wife, Kelly, on here. It's lit. It's super lit. And I'm supposed to have Anna on here, Nas Studios on on Twitter. Studio Nas is her name on Twitter. So I'm supposed to have her in here too. She sent me a message. So small groups are nice. Not even.
Yep.
I'm just glad somebody showed up.
I mean, come on now. You knew somebody was going to show up. Let's not.
Not necessarily, okay? I continuously tell y'all that 15 seconds or 15 minutes, however y'all want to look at it, of fame, that boat is gone, okay? That boat has sailed a long time ago. I'm an older YouTuber at this point, an older content creator. I'm not the only one, but I'm older and I'm not making regular content. So we got a question. Your skin is glowing. Do you mind telling me your skincare routine? Not at all. So right now I am spending money on an outlandish amount of skincare products. Let me tell you the product name. I have to scroll in my phone because I carried the photo around to help me remember to order it. So right now I'm using the Ole Henriksen 3 Wonders kit. I use its cleanser. I use a banana infused eye cream because the older you get, this is nothing about calling myself old. This is just a part of your body's existence. But your tissue around the eyes start to darken or kind of sink in. And I use their moisturizer as well. When I was in Korea, I used A3Day House quite a bit, and I'm not confident I can order it here. So it's working, but because we are living in current apocalyptic life, I'm eating a lot of junk. I'm breaking out in places I haven't broken out in years because I'm eating like brownies and donuts. I'm living my best life.
Listen, I am not blaming you there.
I'm hating it because I'm like, didn't you do all that work just a year ago to lose all that weight? That's all right. As soon as they say the gym is open, my body is literally ready. So I'm all for that question. That's a good one. All righty. What other questions may we have?
I always ask this question anytime I join and Ask Me Anything, but What is currently in your playlist right now?
Hey Lord, you quietly snuck in here. I love it. Currently in my playlist is the entire original soundtrack from Carol and Tuesday. If you are unfamiliar with Carol and Tuesday, it is a Japanese animation about two young ladies. They're 17 years of age, one born on the planet of Mars, one a refugee of the planet Earth onto Mars. Mars has been colonized for 50 years. And they are musicians organically. They're musicians, whereas the rest of the planet plays their music by artificial intelligence. AI finds what would appeal to someone, finds the pitch for the vocals and things, and creates the songs for them. So I've been listening quite a bit to their album. It's been really, really interesting to hear. I added that today and just been in here rocking to it. Yep. I like that question.
I always ask it. I'm so interested in people's playlists and what they listen to. And
Yeah, I
they
can
pick
agree
up
with
on
that.
it.
I like that question. Yeah, I'll have to ask people that instead of saying like, who's your favorite artist? Because then people are like, well, dang, I gotta choose. But that actually
Right.
makes me think of like hold on. So about a week ago, a spider had babies in my room. I'm not scared of spiders.
Oh
But
no.
yeah, I know for a lot of y'all, that's like the end of the world. But I'm like, I'm just tired of looking
Listen.
at them everywhere. Like, go
What,
somewhere.
what she said to me, no.
Yes, I know you would just gently burn the whole house down. I know that.
Whole house.
For
Whole
me,
house.
it's just a matter of, okay, let me, get rid of it. But no, I'm very much tired.
Fumigate nothing. They can have it and die in it. Like, no.
Perhaps.
Nah. Do what?
Perhaps.
What she said to me was spiders' progeny is in the no.
Yes, progeny is in the house.
Progeny would have to get out. Like I can't do.
We go.
The way I'm shaking my fist in the air, and there's nary an 8-legged creature near me right now.
As long as you don't get trapped in a shower with one or anything, I feel like okay.
See.
I'm sorry.
See.
I'm sorry. Authentically.
What she said to me was, I need to keep an eye on my surroundings. That's what she said. Because, no. Because actually, no.
I don't even know what to say. I'm just like,
Because actually, no.
I'm sorry. What's the next question, folks?
Well, we did talk briefly about this before the program started, but now I'm super interested. We talked about KCON and some of the ways that we could see it improving, and how it's sort of up in the air as far as what direction they're going to be moving into.
Yeah.
Now that so many groups are going on tour, now that they're going on tour, people don't feel as obligated to attend KCON because we can just go see our faves on tour.
Yes.
And not have to deal with that. But if you could reshape or revision KCON and sort of improvement, what are some of the improvements that you would make for it?
Oh, I have to be careful how I answer this because there's a history. And I never want to seem like I have so much clout that whatever I say happened. That's arrogance speaking. And I have to precursor with that because if something I say just happens to happen again, then you heard it here first.
Okay.
So,
all right.
If I had the capacity to reinvent the KCON experience, first and foremost, yes, it's nice to have idols present. I'm full-fledged with that. I don't see that being something that needs to disappear, but it does not have to be the big all-encompassing Mnet countdown performance, because that's what we're watching. We're watching the live recording of M Countdown, and they do their stage for that, and then they do a couple auxiliary things just to appease the audience. I don't necessarily feel like that has to be the case. I think it's perfectly fine to have a full concert for whatever the evening is. So at this point in time, historically, well, originally it was a day, 2 days of convention, 1 day of concert. I think at this point in time, they could substantially handle having one evening being a rookie showcase like they intended for the New York instead of doing Club K-Con. I'm going to go back to that, the Club K-Con thing. I believe the first evening should be for rookies to be able to give them an opportunity to get international performance and experience under their belts. And I believe the second evening of the event needs to be a big deal concert with just one group, and then you do a larger group the second evening. That's going to round out concert ticket sales, because you're not competing to hope that it comes to a location as close to you. This is already centralized on a coast, and it's already something that people are already aware of as something that they have to travel for. For us Hallyu fans, K-Con is Mecca, for crying out loud. It's the biggest apex of our experience. So it doesn't have to be a sprinkling that doesn't guarantee that the seats are filled. You want to be able to lessen your financial load and bring in 17 one night and have them shut it down. Let a female group headline a night, for crying out loud. Let the Red Velvet Tour come back or something of the sort. Okay, we've taken care of the big deal concert aspect. I do believe smaller showcases are very cool to have, but I don't think that the idols necessarily have to physically be present. In SM Town Museum in Seoul, they have a barrage of concerts that have the idols already involved in and whatnot. So does the K-pop museum on Jeju Island. And you purchase a ticket for it accordingly, and it's interactive. Not only are you watching it, but you're actually immersed in it. The VR of the artist comes and actually picks you. You can take photos with them on stage and everything. I have pictures with G-Dragon. I've seen G-Dragon 3 or 4 times in life, and the closest I ever been to him is about this distance here. But it was nothing like having that moment of sitting on a bench and G-Dragon comes out of the side and he looks at me. He's like, "Oh, I saw, like, oh, you're here." It was literally a moment. I knew it wasn't him, but it was lit. So being able to incorporate some of that technology here cuts down on the unnecessary stress of trying to encourage people who have no manners to behave accordingly around these artists and these idols, and maintain a healthy and safe distance. With us having all of the things that we have because of technology, we have this assumption that these idols belong to us, and that's unhealthy. And it's not just in this industry, it's all over the place. But if you start to utilize the technology that still allows you to have those one-to-one experiences without the endangerment that could potentially happen, that's still an advantage. I do believe that something that my company created, which is called the ASA Awards, would be nice to actually have as a solid showcase there. ASA Awards is built from fans for fans. It's an actual physical award that we give for the community that put K-Con where it needed to be. There would be no demand for a K-Con whatsoever if it wasn't for the reaction community on YouTube. And although we're treated like redheaded children now, that award allowed us to acknowledge the best MV reaction of the year, best content creator, those of us who do things outside of just the K-pop or the K-drama or the dance coverage, and being able to use our platform for philanthropic endeavors or creating businesses and things of that sort. So I do believe it would be nice to have that kind of acknowledgement. Keep the dance section is so much fun. Encourage more of a knowledge about Korea as a whole. Yes, I'm a part of the people who catapulted the whole cultural misappropriation conversation into the stratosphere. Yes, it's been called cultural appropriation, but if people would really listen to what we talked about in the panels, they would know that appropriation is when you're doing it appropriately. Misappropriation is when you're not. So I don't think it's a necessity to continuously drag that conversation on. There's other things to experience. Like, let's talk about how I just finished last week a certificate with Yonsei University about how women are changing the dynamics of the culture and whatnot. Okay, how do we tie that into Hallyu? The way that the songs are written by the groups now for ladies, the kind of choreography or tones of music videos and things has changed. There's another approach to take on. I will bring K-pop skate night back. I originated it, and that's not even like tooting my horn. That shit did not exist until me and my best friend came up with it and made it a business, and then it's expounded. Other people have done it, but I would make one of the big old rooms in the convention. It is not that expensive when you're a convention and a corporation to drop the money down to turn a section into an indoor roller skating rink. And you have K-pop skate night there where you're playing the music, and the middle of the skating rink is simply for dancing for those who don't want to skate. And you got a big old screen where people can see the videos and have that bonding experience with other fans. Of course, I would have merchandise, I would have food, but I would focus it more on the healthiness of the fandom community and giving the worldwide audience who dogs us out so badly a new perspective on how we love this stuff. That's what I would do. It would still be panels, but I would do that.
That sounds amazing.
It would be so much fun. It would be a lot like the first KCON. Yep.
So you kind of touched upon my next question that I have for you.
Yeah.
Briefly about showcasing to the world that, you know, American fans, yeah, we do know how to act, some of us.
Yeah.
Some of us do not. So with that said, do you feel that obsessive fan culture or Delulu culture or Sisane culture is growing in America? And what are some ways that like the bigger fan accounts here in America can sort of circumvent that? And
I'm so glad you asked that question because I was coming for it.
Yeah. Like, for example, I was watching a teaser from one of my other faves, Super M. They're going to be on yes, they're going to be on All That, the reboot. No disrespect to the original, because we all know that the original was the best, but they're going to be on the reboot. And one of the running jokes in the teaser is that the fans stole items from the group members in order to give to this other girl who for her birthday. Yeah. And it kind of made me chuckle because it was making me think about what happened last summer with NCT 127, where fans apparently they have permission from the bus driver. That's been disputed. We don't know if that's actually the case, but they were able to access the tour bus, and they didn't take any items, but they did touch a lot of items. Some fans made their, like, the beds up. They took pictures and then went on Twitter to brag about it. Now we also have people who are going on Twitter to make up stories, obsessive fan stories about meeting their faves and some of the crazy things that they did in order to meet their faves. It just seems that now more so with more K-pop groups touring in the US is going to become more of a problem. And if it becomes too big of a problem, then all of a sudden we're not going to have high touches. We're not going to have fan signings. We barely have those now, but you know, those are going to be, it's going to be just you pay a ticket and you go and see the concert and that's it. There's no type of fan interaction whatsoever. There's no meet and greets, there's no high touches, there's none of that because fans in the US don't know how to act. So I was wondering if you could just talk about that for a second, or just to what are some of your thoughts about the growing problematic culture amongst fans and manners and what that means for us?
It, on a personal level, it really hurts because I was here in Texas, a part of the audience who was able to usher in what we're experiencing now. Yes, older independent solo artists and things would come to Dallas, but it was usually New York and LA for one-off things. And we really championed for this. And now it's a thing because, excuse me, because we spend so much time online connecting with this stuff as best as we can. For a lot of us, K-pop or J-rock or One Direction or 5 Seconds of Summer or whoever it is that you are in love with at the time, they come into our life at a time when they are a massive source of joy. It's one thing for it to be something that you just fall into and you like, but it's another where you've got a testimony, if you will, tied into how these people impacted you. Much the same with YouTubers and whatnot. You know, I support what you do because I absolutely adore what you do and blah, 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 you know, all of that. If we can get to a point, where generalized human interaction is considered safe and non-threatening, this would cut down. If we felt like it was easy enough, the amount of personal and individual anxieties that people experience. Oh, I sent a message to someone on social media and they didn't respond, or they didn't respond fast enough. Maybe they don't like me. It's something I did or whatnot. We don't know how to, and this is I'm not basing this on a generation. This is a generalized thing. We no longer know how to physically interact with people. There's a lot of people who are so unaware of platonic interaction that we assume that anything that we think is considered nice would turn around and be harassment to someone else. We're afraid to ask for consent and things of that sort because then we assume we're going to be interpreted as being a pervert or something of the sort. There's all these other little back end issues tied in that keep people from doing something as simple as just being calm. If we can get back into a space of encouraging people from not being a nutter butter in that way, then we can start to usher in the opportunity to not have you thinking these guys and these girls are in Korea anyway. They're mine because, you know, they're available online, so they're tangible to me and I can do whatever I need to do with that, and that's good enough. And like, pause, like you're doing the most. You gotta really you have to calm down. Like you got to calm down. So if we can get to a point of helping people remember their humanity, then we can start to further help people understand the importance of offline interaction and remember that somebody running up to you and touching your things and feeling like it's the holy grail because they're so excited to meet you, that's not common, nor is it very natural. So you want to taper off on that if at all possible. You want to find a way to calm that down. I don't think we're going to ever fully get rid of obsessive compulsive behaviors because that's just something that some people deal with. But perfect example is just the amount of argumentative things we see online when one group accomplishes something and then everyone wants to form in and say how it's minuscule compared to the monumental thing of what this one has done. That's all up to your own individual interpretation. And I'm not putting anyone on a platform, although I can love you to death, I'm not putting you on a pedestal higher than somebody who I can actually reach out and touch and speak the same language with without thinking, did I say this correctly or incorrectly? You know, there's a loss of humanity that we really need to get back to, which is why KCON would be a really good space to start encouraging that type of humanity. And some of it is Reactor's fault. Some of it is our fault because you see us on YouTube losing our ever-loving mind with enthusiasm about this stuff because it's one of the few places that we're allowed to just have unabashed excitement, and it's ours to have. So that's a big part of it. We got to learn how to genuinely reach out and like touch somebody's hand, make this world a better place if you can. Like we really.
I don't know if I would say that the excitement that people feel is something that would cause someone to lose all sense and sensibility and allow them to think that this is mine and only mine and no one else can have this but me. Mm-hmm. Because excitement is something like that. Emotion is one of the purest things that you can show. Mm-hmm. The flip side to that is you can't allow this excitement to make you lose all common sense. Even though it is not too common, it is still around in some pockets. Therefore, the thing that's coming to mind when we're talking about this is Chen and his wedding announcements.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like there's a line where you have to say, okay, yes, you're a fan of this person, yes, you like their work, however, comma, semicolon, and period. What you need to realize that, hey, the man gonna live his life, let him go do that.
Period.
Right. Some of that can also be placed back onto the company, because I think the way that the companies sort of market their most popular idols is sort of market them as, these available ideal boyfriends for these very younger fans.
Yes.
And if that is not checked, which a lot of companies do not check it, um, fans kind of just take that and run with it. We saw this happen with Pinacon, with them losing a member due to sort of, that sort of marketing ploy where they were marketed as, the ideal boyfriends, and then one of the members, goes and gets in a relationship with their number one female idol, and gets kicked out of their company. I think that sometimes the companies can encourage that sort of problematic behavior, and they kind of leave their idols out to dry when it comes to picking up the pieces when things go left. And Chen being that, SM did keep him in the group, but there was so much more that SM could have done in order to check that behavior before it even got to the point where petitions were being made to remove him from the group, and people were using the fan cafe to post these really derogatory letters towards Chen, harassing the other members for not speaking against Chen, things of that sort. I think that the companies can definitely step up and do more to sort of keep that behavior in check. I don't think they have a vested interest in keeping that behavior in check, because when it comes to fans, they're looking at it from a money standpoint, and obsessive fans throw a lot of money out at their favorite groups.
Yes, they do.
So
I hate to cut you short. Give me one moment because my Zoom is acting up. If this abruptly ends, then just use the same link and come right back in. Like, it's popping up the warning sign, and I'm like, but it's past 40 minutes. It's already been past 40 minutes. So if it just snaps out of nowhere, that's what happened. So
okay.
but carry on, if you can remember your thought.
But no, that was just my response, sort of how obsessive fan culture. Yes, we do have a responsibility here in the US as fans, but also companies have a responsibility to make sure that type of behavior is checked at the beginning before it gets too much out of control. And I don't think companies are doing that. I think companies are sort of capitalizing on how far they can drive their fans to be delulus. And it's backfiring. They're noticing how it's backfiring.
Well, I think that's partially the reason why SM actually came out and said, you know what, no, we've known about this for a while, and the group, we all discussed it with the group, and we're fine. I think that's one of the reasons why SM actually finally came out and made a statement, because they knew where it was headed. I am struggling to find this thread that somebody made about, there it is. So someone in the midst of all this basically compared Chen getting married to racism in Western countries, and I went,
sorry,
"You've got
what?
to be."
Oh my God.
Excuse me?
You know what? Let me just. You know what? No, sis. Check your text messages in just a second.
Can't you just tag me or just drop the link in the chat on here?
It is a long link, and I'm looking at it on my phone.
Dag nabbit, cheese and crackers. You can just tag me so I can just drag it for filth in public. Whatever. That's ridiculous. What?
Oh, okay. Hey, not a problem. See the way this can be done. Come on. Let's see here.
To whose racism? Y'all just, I'm still out here with it. Like, to what?
Yup. Okay, let me see if I can get it back. Come on now. Don't be this way. Don't be this way. Okay, I have to log in. I have to do all of this now just so I can make sure.
That's trying to keep me from saying something on public because everybody else is already off it. I'm just showing up to it.
Oh, no. What we don't understand is, there we go. Where's my ads?
The gall.
Okay, so you have been tagged.
Make sure Zoom don't cut off. And then you said that you got to die, whatever you are. I'm sorry. That came out real country. I'm sorry.
So you have been tagged in it. I just retweeted it and did the whole 9 yards. So you can have at will.
I am late to the party, but I am here now. The what?
Yep. That's what she said? That's what she said?
Wait till I read the magic. I'm completely late. This was January 17th. Like, this was before the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. Is what she said?
Wow. Getting married is bad as being racist in Western countries. And you typed it with confidence. That's the part that really just
in a thread. Okay,
I got to murder something. Hold on, y'all. You want to die. That's what it is. Keep coming. You wanted this. I understand. Y'all keep breathing. Then your mama tell y'all not to do that. Like, ain't it important to not, like, protect yourself and each other? I'm looking at you like, well, she didn't kill me over there. I'll come over here. She's gonna not kill. No, you gonna die. And then I killed it, and then another one came out. Like they're just pregnant.
He said, "You have chosen."
Look, I'd rather take this any day than a snake in the house. You know, I will move out of the nation again. So.
This is true facts.
I will straight up leave. I will leave in the middle of this recording. I will be gone. I done already packed my winter clothes. I'll just take those. Those will just be my all year round clothes until further notice.
Until further notice.
Well, yeah, I think that was an amazing, wonderful question. And then I went and diverted it and turned it into something about spiders. And he done tagged me in something that only 72 people retweeted and 276 liked. 276 people that I'm about to block. Like, how do you put in your head, oh, this makes sense?
Mind you, that's not the only one. There is another one.
That's okay. I got time. It's the apocalypse. Time. Time I have, like. Anywho, so do we have any other questions? I don't want to dominate the paint with this when there's so many other things.
This is a lighthearted one to sort of shift focus, but with the success of the ever talented Super M, who I absolutely love, there are some rumors that other companies are going to be creating super groups of their own, whether those groups will be boy groups, girl groups, or co-ed groups. These plans are in the works as far as consolidating some of their best talent into these groups and profiting off of these groups. If you could put together your own super group, what would that group look like, and who would be a part of the group?
I'd be very excited if they bring back super groups in general, because first and second generation K-pop, we had a lot of that. It was really cool to see the various super groups. At this point in time, with all sincerity, Super M is my ideal super group. They just need the members of TVXQ shoved up in there and a couple of members from Super M, and they would literally be untouchable. I would want, it really is like when they announced that was happening, I thought I was gonna have an aneurysm in my living room in Korea, because I'm like, okay, my dreams and my nightmares, like, who made that? NCT got 700 members in it. Who made that? To grab those members. Like, you got Mark, who is in every subunit that we do and don't know of. And you got this vampire who people literally like cannot handle looking at because it's unfair. It's unfair. It's unfair to be that difficult. Then you got 10, who we've been waiting for him to surface, and he surfaces and he's dangerous. Lucas, who is just a light-skinned black man, and then you got
Ain't he though?
He's just the lightest light-skinned black man that he ever could be. Who made the choice? Who sat down and was like, where there's 24 members, because Ashley Griffin's the 25th, so there's 24 members, and I don't even like the number 25, but that's just the number that we landed on, 25th member. So there's 24 members. I could have picked Popeye's Biscuit Thick, Johnny, who already speak English.
Stop it.
No issue. Yeah. This would have been no issue. I could have crippled and emotionally bludgeoned everybody by putting Utah in this. No. Let's put Mr. NCT, the vampire, the light-skinned one, and the new baby vampire with Kai, the devil dancer, who don't have D.O. to stop him. Who don't have no big name except Michael Taman Jackson, and then you put him with the vocalist who sings paint off of stuff. Like, it's unfair. It's actually not healthy that they put this group together. And if they would have put in there with his old ass and somebody from Super Junior, it don't even matter which member at this point, I would have died. The level of hyperventilating I was doing on their press, like, debut day. Like, I could not. That reaction that I did, the audio reaction that I did on my podcast, is the most listened to episode. That one recording on its own brought in 3,000 listeners to a podcast that only the people who watch my YouTube channel know about. Because everybody was like, come listen to this. You need to listen to this woman have an asthma attack about these little Asian boys. It almost killed me. So that is my ideal super group. I don't necessarily have one for women. If I did, it would have some of the members of Mamamoo, some of the members of Spica, Sistar.
Yeah.
I would preference that it be Choa from Sistar before she left. And that little rapping cutie pie from G Idol, their leader. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, super M.
The excitement I had over this question, because I do this.
Oh God, yeah, Super M really is my super group. What's your question, TJ?
No, I said the excitement I had over that question, because I am one.
I got another Magwala who sends me DMs just out of nowhere. I won't hear from her for months, and then she'll drop something in and be like T.O.P. or Jackson. I'm like, what did I do to you? Like, What did I do to you where you
Speaking
felt like
of,
this was respectful?
Speaking of King T.O.P., congratulations to him. He was crowned the top visual of K-pop for the year 2020 with over 2.4 million votes.
Who did?
Yes, King T.O.P.
Who did that?
the original visual, that's who did that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. The original visual whose best friend is an idiot and did a stupid April Fool's prank. Yes, that one. Yes.
That one. That one.
Yeah, that's my
Not that he had any competition, but he won by such a large
I mean, he kind of,
2.4
because
million people.
the grown man on him, really don't have no competition right now. But you wait until some of these groups that everyone is loving sends their members off to the military and come back.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
It's gonna be a problem. That's what it's gonna be. Can you
There's
imagine
one of them that when they come out, it's going to be an issue.
When S-Coop decides to come out from military service from 17, when J-Hope be like, I'm sick of y'all talking about RM's chesticles, wait till I return. Like, it's about to be dangerous. Some of them gonna come back traumatizing humans. Yeah.
No, the list I have for the traumatization. Dio, no one's ready. Jimin, no one's ready. Busan torture device, nah, no. For that matter, V, the problem child, why?
I'm just ready to see his haircut. That's what I'm ready to see. I'm gonna be like, Lord, Daddy.
It's like there's a list. There's a list happening, and any member of Monster X. No, we're not. No.
Oh Lord Jesus!
Oh.
See, there you go. When Shonu decides, first off, Shonu done put some weight back on, so praise God for that, because he lost weight out of mourning, and I don't care what anyone says. But when he go and he come back, and they gonna have to stretch the seams on his uniform, because
stretch the seams is what you said.
Be able to even look at him.
I'm gonna be ready to go blind. I'm so excited. K-pop, the only thing I know where you willingly be waiting to get hurt. You're like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to hear because I'm gonna go deaf from screaming. Yep, I'm ready. I'm ready for Dio to come out. Not ready for Schumann to come out though.
Nah, that's another one. Nope.
Not ready for that. That's a wonderful question. These questions are wonderful. They're hurting me a little bit because I'm thinking about it. Like,
now, sis, you know this wish of mine. I need a Dio solo album.
You done made me sweat. Yeah. Yeah. Could you imagine? First off, okay, speaking of albums, just a gentle round of applause for the semi-confident single mother, Suho. Released this wonderful, genteel album, if you will, to just express his gratitude for his artistry, for his love of music. He talked about some of his regrets within his group, trying to take care of his children after his spouse Chris left him. It was a wonderful Billboard interview that Tamar Herman did of him, and it's a very nice album. It don't have the drip that Baekhyun had, because that's a dangerous soul album right there. That's a nice R&B album, but Dio owes us, okay? Wait, now time out, SM. Like, I know y'all don't stop by my channel because I ain't two-mention junkie or nothing of the sort. However, don't tell Dio that I said that out loud, because we already know he's the devil, and I don't want him being upset with me, okay? While he's been busy serving his country, my country is dying, okay? My country jolted forward in the coronavirus championship like it was a horse stuck in a stable and caught a second win. Okay, so I really don't need him to like feel like he need to do something. It's enough going on already. But I would be very gracious for that. I agree with you, TJ. I would love to R&B.
Like, could you imagine
the runs? The runs.
And this last album they put out, could you imagine had they waited until like before
I'm okay that they didn't. I'm okay that they didn't. I'm glad that they didn't. I'm so glad that they didn't. I was in here singing Monster like I was like on American Idol. The one that was doing it, like I literally had like a break this morning. My brain could not take any more of this. And I was playing just all kinds of music and Monster came on and I'm just like zoning on all his stuff. Had they just let him do the song on his own and everybody else just be the backup, it still would have bopped. He could have sang Monster all by him damn self with nobody else. And I would have been like, this is glorious. It's D.O.
And with that knowledge.
Backup singers.
And with that knowledge, imagine him on, was it track 6 of the new album? Yeah. Right, okay.
You ever had a chill go down your spine? I'm like, literally skin on my face. I'm like, my foot started tingling. Wow, that would be bad for all of us.
Please just shout out and applaud the producers of EXO's last album because that was a great album. It was. I think Billboard recently put out an article from the producer's perspective where they invited all the producers to basically share what it was like making the album. And it's a really long interview, but it's a great interview. And just having them talk about Yeah, which is my favorite song on the album, and so many of the others. It's just like, it's magical. It really is.
It's
really
magical. What are you?
Listen, that song is deadly. That song is deadly. When I tell you, I almost had a full-on vehicular accident when that song came on.
She's like, oh, see, stuff got bad.
The only thing that I wish they would have done is I think that SWV deserved to just be featured, like credited as a feature, because they literally left Coco's vocals on the song. And in America, that's a feature. Yeah, that's like you're going beyond just sampling, a song. Like she's literally singing the chorus. Huh?
Are we certain that it's not credited?
No, the original composers of You're the One by SWV are credited, but like she doesn't have a feature as a vocalist. Like I wish it would have been like EXO featuring SWV.
That would be brazen. Now that I'm thinking about, like, would they remotely do that? They would, but as long as the writers got credit, that means that she's still cashing that check no matter what. Yeah.
Just why did the song have to go off like that?
I haven't looked at anything. I haven't looked at anything because I'm not on their discography yet in an album a day. But like now I'm about to definitely look it up because she might have credit because she might be writing under a pen name.
Right.
So that's Taj, Coco. Come on now, don't be this way. Like we're not looking for Taj. There we go. So Cheryl Gamble. Fine.
Yeah. I think Gamble is her married name though. I'm not sure what her maiden name was or her pen name is.
Yeah. Damn, they really didn't. Oh, I'm gonna dig it up hard. Oh no. She has a credit.
Okay.
It's under Coco.
Okay.
Perfect.
And it's more than one song.
Oh, so she was okay.
She has a credit on Ya Ya Ya. She has a credit on Obsession's Chinese version.
Yep. She's on that too. SWV is like on this album. I keep on telling people.
That's wonderful that she got a credit though, because she
So
got it
many
as a writer. Give my writers, like not writers with a T. Writers, RIDERS, are things that you put in a business clause in music, and boy, you want to collect your writers. That's lovely. Yeah, so yeah, she got credit. 'Cause I'm like, wait a minute, how did they think they will remotely get away with that as Americanized and westernized as their sound is, and think somebody wasn't gonna peep it?
There are a couple songs on that album that I was like, what they want to do is murder me this afternoon. That's what they want.
This afternoon, I didn't ask for this.
No, didn't ask for it. Especially when traveling through what our dear sister calls the Kraken. Yeah, no, didn't need that at that point.
Traveling through the Kraken, man, it's rough out there in these streets.
And then all of a sudden, I hear this SWV sample, and this thunk through my Pioneer speakers. I said, no. This is what we can't. Exactly. Like, this is not what we came here to do.
Now I'm over here butchering it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of post-apocalyptic, have you heard of a thing called a coronavirus challenge?
Oh, what's that?
Oh, hashtag 6Fs people licking stuff.
Yes.
Oh, for those of you who like, wait a minute, what did she just say? If you look in the chat, I want you to copy what I just wrote and then paste it in the internet and see what pops up.
I know what that means because I'm a web developer.
Exactly. Like I have gotten so tired of talking about them that I just call them by the hex code now. Your color hex code is that. When you put it in my absolute favorite part about it is when you put it in Google and it pop up with the color picker and it just be that on the left and then all the other colors on the I'm tired. Like I'm just.
But why on the airplane though? This is what why on the airplane?
On the airplane.
Oh,
First off, to my knowledge, there's only been 3 people who have done this ignorant.
3? I only know about 1. Who else?
That's too many.
That's 3 too many. But I was just having a conversation with one of my good friends, like childhood friend, before I started the chat. And ultimately, some people, again, it goes back to that emotional and physical detachment that we have. I suffer from it to an extent. I can really just be like, oh, okay, on a baseline level with a lot of things. But you're aching so badly to feel something that you'll go and do that just so you can get the attention of being sick. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't genuinely believe that it wasn't like as big of a deal. I was a person too who didn't believe it was as big of a deal as it is now. There was no way 3 weeks ago I would have known it was going to pop off like it's popping off right now. I was trying to tell my students to calm down. The flu is what you need to be scared of. Get your vaccine. And then Miss Rona was like, really?
Pay attention to me.
Sweetheart, you don't know me. I'm not from here. And I'm like, oh, you don't know me. I'm not from here. So, and the thing about it, like, yes, we're looking at the 19th iteration of it, but this is within the same line of SARS as well. This is not the first time this has happened. We've experienced it. It's been identified since the mid-1960s. Information that I did not know until I looked it up on the CDC, and I'm confirming it now just to double check. So this is the 19th iteration of it. Even still, She ain't like the 18 others. She don't care about them. This is technically they calling it the 7th iteration, but she ain't like them other ones. So, I can understand them being ignorant because we all have a level of ignorance about something. But this whole thing of doing dumb shit and putting it on social media for other white people to clap their hands about, I don't understand. I just
don't make me swan dive off this bed.
I don't understand. Like, I don't think it's an age thing. I really don't, because there's people far older than all of us on here who do ignorant stuff as well, like go and bludgeon Asians out of fear that, their existence is going to give them coronavirus and whatnot. Like, all of that stuff is ridiculous and haphazard as hell at the bare minimum. But yeah, they basically do it just to impress other hex code efforts. You can miss me with that. You gon' miss me with that. I ain't trying to be that.
Mind you, like, I have to answer questions at work.
Yes.
And one of the questions I got was related to the Corona beer.
TJ had a document from his job, and one of the questions, one of the literal FAQ on the paper was, can I get this from the coronavirus? Can I get this from the Corona beer? It's like, no. No. That gentle no.
And then the other one was from,
can I eat Chinese food? Can I still get Chinese takeout?
That's racist.
AF.
When I saw that on the screen, I literally took the picture, sent it to Ashley. I said, you know what? No, I'm not reading this right.
It's like, let me go ahead and contact the English teacher. She'll know what to do. What did I do?
Exactly. Just because this comprehension and me we're falling out right now.
Golly. Yeah, it's disturbing to see our levels of stupidity. We're really leveling up out here in these streets.
Oh, we're to the point where we are having police investigations because people are coughing on produce. Anyway.
Right.
So we've got 10 more minutes left because I don't want to hold y'all hostage forever. Oh, Peculiar Princess just got here. She's gonna go. Okay, I'll stick around a little longer. It ain't like we got nothing else to do. Some of y'all ain't got no job to go to tomorrow.
No, don't.
And then some of us literally have to be up.
Some of us literally have to. Like, man.
Right. I do have to go to work. But it's cool because, like, I could literally just wake up and open my laptop and I'm at work. So that's dope. That's been really dope. Not having to commute for an hour to work. The
fact that I can wake up and clock in on time instead of having to wake up an hour and a half earlier so I can drive.
So ain't that it?
That alarm go off on rollover and reach and be like, and then roll right. I'm still a night teacher. So my day doesn't start until about 3:30. So I'll be on the clock just like alone. It's ridiculous. So, okay. Hi, Peculiar Princess. It's so wonderful to have you. You sent me a very sweet note in Patreon that really touched my heart. Thank you for that. Like, I mean that. Because, I'm checking on y'all first. Like, look, pull that money out if y'all got to. And some did, and I totally get it. Like, this isn't a priority, but I appreciate what you had to say. So, thank you. So I have a question for y'all. Did y'all know that now YouTube is telling me how long people have been subscribed to my channel? Like, when y'all leave a comment, like, that's freaky. Some of y'all been around a long time. Y'all have been through a barrage of bad cameras and poor lighting in various locations. I'm like, this is wild. These people must be bored out of their mind. Like,
I will tell you my favorite one though.
One of my videos?
Yes.
What could that call?
Is between two. One was that delightful water bottle that decided, you know what, you're gonna stop squeezing me. I'm gonna get you.
That water bottle binked me so hard in the face.
Oh my goodness, I remember that.
That doggone G-Man reaction video, and that water bottle said, like it hit me.
Oh my goodness.
Like it hit me true. It hit here, and there. Like that cat was in this section. And it was so forceful that when I fell back, it was both from pain and from shock. I'm like, oh God. Water bottle took me out.
I think I laughed for like 15 minutes on that.
That video. They like, no, I kept that one. What's the second one?
The second one was after we got off the phone. After I warned you about a certain Juan Jair, and in a certain video that he released, and you tried to do this a fourth time, and you said no, can't do it.
I told myself that I'd be okay. I'm like, but I'm not. I'm not okay with anything that you're releasing in this era. Like I'm not okay. You ever just not been okay? I like the video that he recently released. I'm very proud of him.
Yes, that's
Jackson.
good.
I genuinely am proud of him, and I just so desperately wish that I could just get him to do something on one of my tracks, even if it's just a freestyle, even though he doesn't freestyle. Just dance to some of my songs. I got a song named after you, boy. Dance to it.
That's so awesome. Do you for real?
Yeah, I have a song called Jackson, and you can hear snippets of the Jackson song when you go to my YouTube channel and you look for the playlist 30-Day K-Pop Challenge. It's the music that introduces the segment. But yeah, I have a song inspired by him, and please just dance to my shit, sir. That's all I want. Yep. No, that water bottle one is definitely legendary. The reaction I had to Bang 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 when I took my sunglasses off, like in slow motion, because I was shook. My very first reaction ever was to 21 Falling in Love. That was my absolute very first one. And I was so excited that when the song, if you're unfamiliar with the song, it has reggae tones to it, and it starts with let the rhythm, like it's giving you a chant right quick. Literally, when the man says let the rhythm, my whole body seized up and I just fell out. I faint a lot, so a lot of people thought I was exaggerating. I passed out. I was so excited I passed out, and I like eventually jumped up. Like, so that's one that sticks out in my head. Listening to these fangirl versions retroactively, like they're hilarious.
Oh, yes.
I did not realize how funny they are, because I don't be paying attention like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're hilarious. I became a subscriber after finding that playlist.
Oh,
They're
really?
Yes.
Fangirl versions are actually for real funny.
Yeah.
Right, they are. Like the Tame and Danger one, that on when you got to the bridge and you were singing the bridge.
That's like my soul depended on it.
Every time that song comes on, that's me. I just go off on the bridge.
And like,
I'm sorry. Drip drop.
Hilarious as well.
We laughing at me, Anna. When I said get a dirty baby, I meant that. Okay?
Yes, that is the exact part.
Get a dirty baby. Yeah, and like the fact that y'all don't get to see me make the videos. The only ones y'all have seen me do is the one I did for NCT, and then the one that I did for Ring a Ding Ding by Shiny. But like all of that stuff that be going on in my face and all of that, it is genuine. Like I'm not making all of the humorous stuff just because the camera was on. I really be that perplexed. I be talking to myself when I say the Korean wrong. Like it's a mess. Then I be trying to like look at everybody so you can see my eyes like going from one person to the next. Like it's a lot going on when I'm doing these. But once I do a fangirl version, I never forget the lyrics to the song after that. It's when I'm doing it because I know y'all can hear me singing. Like I cannot hear NCT Dream go without me going, yes, Ashley, good God. Like I cannot hear myself. I cannot hear that chorus without me hearing myself flip out like that when I got the words correct. So I do have to check the lyrics on some things sometimes because I'm way, way, way off. But a lot of it is just me working on my auditory hearing of Korean to really see if I know the language. So them reactions be authentic when I get that excited.
Speaking of, here's a letter.
It's been a while.
All of them. All of them.
It's been a while since I've written a letter. For one, there's a lot more groups that I'm unfamiliar with, and I don't want to not do it justice. But I haven't had a letter to write in a moment because I haven't had Wi-Fi stable enough for me to do anything. I'll create that 1 minute video, those 1 minute and 16 second videos take about an hour to 2 hours to edit. Between scripting, recording myself, and not laughing at what I'm saying because I have to speak it monotone. So, I'm doing all of this and then I get in the character and it's, Dear Namjoon, you remember when, like I have to monotone myself. So the whole process can be from an hour to 2 hours of editing, not talking about doing the script or anything of the sort. So you go and do all of that and then you upload it and then YouTube be pissed off that it's 3 seconds of something in there that they've never flagged before. It makes it difficult to stay motivated to share the content. I have thought about constantly creating an app to be able to share things with less stress, but the amount of space that's necessary to upload things that you all can just carry around at ease with you like that, it's far more expensive than I earn money to do anything about. So there will be a letter eventually. I'm just trying to stick with uploading something once a month to keep the channel alive until I'm back in space, both psychologically and physically, where I have the free range to do all that I intended to do with the channel.
I have 3 words for you. Emote without emotion.
How does one just emote without emotion? Like, how do you give all of this without any of this? There's quite a few idols that are capable of doing that.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess that's my question. Okay, so all right, so TJ told me 2 of his favorite videos, 3 of his favorite, because he talked about getting at Dirty Baby. What are some of your favorite videos from the channel?
Third K-pop rant.
What's that?
Third K-pop rant.
The third the third annual one? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I be drunk in them rants. So my New Year one, I'm usually drunk on those, and then my birthday one, I'm usually drunk for to just say whatever it is I really want to say. Was the third one when I was in Korea?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I do remember pillow top. I had my arm shoved under the pillow top mattress to keep me from falling over while I was recording because I was trashed, like destroyed. Alcohol in Korea is exceptionally cheap. Like, you know, with $5 and be thrown down. So all I did was have drinks, but like the drinks were this big. And I was at home, comfortable, nice and safe. It was a weekend, so it wasn't anything harmful. And I'm like, let's go ahead and record the video. I was out of there. So I appreciated being your favorite, but ain't nobody ever said one of the rants was one. Beyond the one for me losing my mind over the August D mixtape, that was the first time that I had really like cursed everybody out on YouTube. I had gone years of not saying any curse words or anything until that video. And I'm like, well, F it. I done did it now. I'm going to have to just keep on going. So that was the video.
I like the vampires.
That's like legendary. And I on a weekly basis.
I remember when it came out and on my old Twitter account, because the one that I follow you on is my new one. But on my old, I would always reference that video as canon amongst amongst the like people who really believe that, you know, K-pop idols are vampires.
I believe it completely.
Right, but I loved it, especially the part where you were talking about Taeyong becoming activated.
Because he is. Because he is. See, every time somebody bring him up, I gotta show, where is it? Where is the clip? Because I've mentioned it multiple times. I've told people, if you go to the process and you see them, like, look at him, and like people like, oh, okay, you know, I kind of saw, like, no. Where? Please, God, let me be able to find it. NCT Taeyong, serious face. Where is it? He was in the middle of a press conference. And he was laughing. And they're like, okay, well, we need you to go ahead and, you know, show us your smoldering face. And he's like, okay, fine. And he's laughing, and they count from 3, not from 5. He goes 3, 2, 1. He look up, and you hear the whole audience go.
Not the whole audience.
The whole audience was horrified. I have to find it.
He has so many iconic faces.
Oh, this is magical. I'm gonna read this. Wait. You are not in my private live stream right now, comma, but I am going to read this to everyone so that when I upload it to YouTube, everyone knows this. Period. All exclamation point. Okay, so one of my Megwalas, who's also one of my team members, her name is Jess. She's also known as Geese Juggler. She keeps forgetting that that's her username, and she'd be like, well, I might as well leave it. So today is the anniversary of me becoming a freelancer, so I wanted to share the story. Around February 2019, I was let go from a job I didn't even want. Job was phased out. I was going to quit anyway, but still. With my yearly side hustle, not until April, I decided to try something. So I got the idea of rewatching Star Wars in black and white. I knew 3 things. 1, I had the time. 2, I'd probably live tweet it. 3, I needed to write more. I decided to do it. Weekly, I'd watch a movie and write about my thoughts for the movies. 8 movies, 8 weeks. Simple, right? Side note, she still does this, so you should follow her. Remember how spring is my busy season? Yeah. So about 2 weeks of Star Wars Grayscale, I saw an open call for MacG Productions. Now, I'm a big fan of one of the owners, Multifacetedacg, and I thought about it. I mean, what's one more rejection? Not like they'd say yes. The only writing I had were fangirl thoughts on Star Wars, not like anyone's exhausted that needed heavy editing. And I was only 3 weeks into that. I sent an email, and they emailed me back because every time I underestimate myself, the universe side eyes me. We do the phone interview, in which my interview just noped midway. Me and the interviewer, who is actually my long-suffering editor, hit it off, and I fully expect the rejection email. I mean, can you really be a writer without a handy stack of rejection letters or emails with you? Yeah, the next email was from HR, walking me through my contract. So I not only had a big writing project to finish, but I was an official freelancer. I signed my contract on April Fools, a fitting date, all things considered. There was about a month where I was writing for both MacG and another publication, and I was near tears by the end. I did what I wanted to do, write more and improve. It's been a heck of a year, and I still can't believe that I have a team that pushes me and lets me go full on weird. So when Grand Spring is a jerk tradition, I'm writing a bunch of articles for them to take May off, as well as finishing Star Wars Grayscale with the last 3 movies. Frantic writing and overloading on caffeine, here we come. That touches my heart because she doubted her capacity. And a rule of thumb when we do recruitment for MacG, it's guaranteed, mandatory, no matter what, that after everyone does their interviews and goes through their samples and it goes through HR, I speak with them, because it's not common that you are with a business where you can speak to the owner. It's just not common. And then the other aspect of it is a lot of people come to the business because they're supporters of my content. I need them to see me as a human, not just as the YouTuber you enjoy. So I'll do a call with them, and I always say it every time. I'm like, okay, if you need a moment to let it get out your system because you kind of weirded out that you're on the phone with me, it's okay. And she was so chill about it. And then later told me, she's like, I was so nervous, but like, it's a really good feeling to just hear from people that you're one of the drops in their bucket, just the things that's helping them see overflow in their life. Is so cool. I cannot wait. She said, oh, I forgot about that. Can I have the link, please? Yeah, come on, Jess. Yeah, girl.
Yeah, come on in, Miss Lady.
It's in Slack. Yeah, like that's why it's so important to me to be able to check in with y'all. Like, it's not enough to just shoot y'all a message on Twitter that more than half the followers won't see and whatnot. It's important to talk with y'all to see how you're doing. So, it's real. I cannot find this clip of Taeyeon, which is probably for the best because I'm sweating. Like, it's probably.
So why are we looking for danger? Like, I don't understand.
You have to see how frightening it is that he can just do that. Like,
he turns it on and off like frighteningly well.
Yeah. Like, even the most recent thing with them being on Weekly Idol, there's a part where he's sitting down and he's looking at a camera over here, and the announcers is like, well, everybody knows Taeyeon is like very handsome in the camera pan, and he don't even look real. He's just sitting there like, that's fucking right. Yes, I am. Mm-hmm. When you watch the Kick It video in the very, very beginning, when he's doing his little body, whatever it is, because it sometimes looks hilarious because he's so slim. There's a part right before, let me introduce you, where he pulls his back like this. Now, y'all see my neck and everything. This man's jaw look like this. Okay?
I can't.
He's so beautiful that it physically upsets me.
Right.
Like, it shouldn't be this way.
She said it's physically upsetting and hurtful.
Absolutely. Oh my God, did I find it? Lord. When I'm not even joking with y'all, a pool of sweat just came down my back out of panic. Did I find it? Don't let this be it. Don't let this be it, because Zoom got screen share features. I will flip this camera around so quickly.
Uh-oh.
This was their do you know NCT 127? Well, they don't count like we do. It's 4 years old, but in Korea, they're technically considered to be 5 years old at this point. I'm trying to see if it's from their girl bye. This is from their actual announcement, February 1st. I'm sweating like a mug. You would have thought I just stole something, and I'm trying to like make you think I'm okay. I can't get it together because like now I'm nervous. Like, nah, you know what? We're not gonna look for it. What we're gonna do is just protect ourselves and each other in 2020 by not looking for this.
Back away slowly.
Jess! I just got finished reading your beautiful story. Happy writer anniversary. Hey, Granny. System undone. So
I just remembered something.
Huh?
The recession of the hairline.
Whose hairline is receding? Who are we talking about? Catfish
So Tender.
That YouTube video when I got catfished on a date?
Yes.
I totally heard. Oh, TJ, why did you send me this? Y'all, have y'all seen that picture on Twitter where there's chicken seasoned in the sink and then the flour off to the other side of the sink and no bowl?
Oh, no.
Jesus.
Oh, Jesus. Like, what? No one wants any parts. Yeah.
Why was there a debate of how this is being done, though?
Because children. Because children. Yeah, I unmuted y'all. You unmuted now. Unless you went and muted it again. She started laughing. I'm unmuting y'all. This ain't like YouTube where you can hide behind the text. Free to talk.
Oh, wait, my headphones hit me.
That is funny. No, I saw that. I went, stop this. This is this uncooked chicken all over again. No, stop it.
Eat a
It's
sweet.
the continuing saga of people with no home training.
None. Zero.
Done. Tomorrow. Am I having like back sweat? Like, Taeyong, what you do to me, Jesus?
Oh,
Hmm?
No, not in a sultry way, more in like a panic and like when you know, anxiety come over you when you get clammy, like that.
You're like,
Has that effect on people? I'm too scared to call him my bias in 127.
I ain't scared. I accept it.
I ain't never scared.
One I'm scared to call my bias is Jaehyun, and he had the audacity in Weekly Idol to do the Aegyo song and then turn around and do his part real serious at 1 second. Like, you know, he's talking about, you know, you're very cute. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
yeah.
Yeah, he's like, well, you know, we should date.
Oh.
What do you think? And he dropped an octave.
No. Here's the thing about NCT. So when I first started noticing all these children showing up in K-pop, I was like, I'm gonna have to draw some sort of line in the sand right now. And so my line was Zello from BAP, because he was the official youngest person on the face of the planet of K-pop when I showed up.
Yeah.
And I was like, all of y'all are officially too young. And Jaehyun and Do Young are like on the other side of that line, just staring me down like, what's up, girl? You gonna break this list? We gonna see you gonna break this whole thing, this rule thing first. You or me, my money's on you. And every comeback, they just try it, and I reject it, and I hate them so much. Like, everybody's yelling at Johnny, and I'm just doing the whole thing of like, I'm like, I'm just staring them down. I refuse.
All of NCT 127 said, you gonna look at me today.
Today,
Did this
Yes.
comeback.
I avoided them.
She said this evening.
During
Nope.
Seventh Sense. I avoided them during Fire Truck. Fire Truck was supposed to be the next fangirl version. It was not supposed to be Kick It, but all of y'all are evil. It was supposed to be that, so I could call the song.
Hey, I voted for KDA. You can't blame me.
That I'm grateful. That I was gonna butcher that because I was gonna get too excited because it's too much girl power for me. But that's what it was.
No, that's why I voted for it.
Well, I would have been like, ain't nobody giving up. It would have been horrible. So
Yeah. Like, you trying to go for that high note when you know you couldn't handle it. Like, I was waiting for that, and I was like, oh, okay, we can do NCT where Jaehyun looking disrespectful. Sure, we can do that.
So because YouTube hates me, it starts referring my own videos to me. That EXO's debut video got referred to me, and I forgot that I hollered out Dio's note. And you can hear my veins bulging. I was like, yeah.
Why this note, though?
I was singing my behind off, so yeah, I would have did my best to try to hit all of them keys because they all got voices higher than mine. Man,
And they all showed out on the latest album. The latest album had a lot of R&B vibes.
A lot of R&B vibes. I didn't get sucked into them until I just forgot the name of the song. What's the name of the song? Cherry Bomb. And I never saw the teasers until a year later, and I'm like, I'm so glad I never saw the teasers. I would have hurt myself. I would have hurt myself. Like, I'm so glad that I didn't see it, because I knew NCT existed, but I was not paying them no attention. I was seeing chewing gum with my students because Dream was the big deal, because I was teaching elementary and middle school.
By the way, I'm still mad that we went from chewing gum to We So Young, We So Freaky within 2 years.
But that's that's okay. Like, go ahead and grow up. It's all right.
Like, the disrespect.
I feel like
when I tell you, I literally stayed away from them until then. I was like, see, no, we can't have that.
Y'all, it's something else in here I'm gonna have to kill.
When is the wildlife gonna realize that Ashley's room is not the place?
It doesn't care about my needs. I gotta find that. Yeah, like multifaceted ACG fangirl version. Like that note, I was having a nervous breakdown. It's a few. Every single fangirl version. Just what we were talking about before you got in here, how all of this is just going on random tangents. We were talking about people's favorite videos from my channel. And like,
I have so many.
Same.
No, because like I became a fan of yours through Jess's channel, like through the Jess Life.
Yeah.
And so I can't even remember when I started. It's been a good couple of years. So like there's a couple of videos of yours where I was just like, I hate the world, nothing is, murder is still illegal, I'm gonna watch this to smile. So
Yeah, so no murder stuff, and I go, oh.
My best friend does the same thing. I'm completely used to it. So, in no particular order, the one of you talking about the 2 p.m. concert and the girl falling down the stairs.
That was a real laugh.
This is
she just really. That was a real laugh.
Hold on, wait. My sister's in the room, but she was like, "Wait, no, Sid fell down the stairs." No, Ashley fell over the chair during the Got 7.
Yeah, that was me about the lunge over the balcony. Yeah. I was going to die. Like, I'm not even laughing.
At 2 p.m. at KCON.
Right. The 2 p.m. was the girl falling down the stairs.
2 p.m. came for their own concert to Dallas, and me and my girlfriend Tasha, we got tickets like at the last minute because we both worked. So we got off work and drove down to Dallas for this concert. And long story short, one of the members opened his shirt, and you could literally hear that bad boy rip open because it was Velcro, but that didn't matter at the moment. You could hear it rip open, and there was it was a sonic wave of horror that came from the front row all the way to the rafters of the Verizon Theater. You could feel the wind of everybody go, wow! And the girl behind me, she was walking down the stairs anyway. When this shit hit, she went down the steps. The girl behind me is in tears. Her boyfriend sitting there like he didn't sign up for this. The career move beside me in it, and I went blind.
You said Scarlett though took a tumble.
I don't remember the next 3 songs after that to this day at all.
See, I identify with that. Like, part of the reason why that's one of my favorites is because me and my sisters had floor seats to go see Big Bang for their last concert, right? For like their last major tour. And so we not only do we have floor seats, we had sound check. And so we are on the floor and Wayne just chilling because, it's Big Bang. We wait 4 years for them anyway. What's another couple of minutes for them to come on stage? Hey, Young gets on the mic and goes, Anaheim, are you ready? And all of us start screaming as if like we are in a horror movie and we're just grabbing each other just like, oh my God, it's happening. It is happening. Right. And then like later on when they did Fantastic Baby, it got so loud that my eardrums like kind of vibrated. It was like, nope, we are not prepared for this. If I lost my I totally been fine with that. I know sign language. It was worth it. It was Big Bang.
It was worth it.
Like the danger.
So like the whole thing about like the girl falling down the stairs. Yeah, that'd have been me if I had stood up during that Big Bang concert. The fact of like when you heard Fantastic Baby. First of all, we were lit just when they were showing music videos before the concert. They were showing music before the concert, before the actual like VCRs and stuff started. We were getting lit to music videos we had already seen a billion times before. Just fan checking and yelling like we ain't had no business. It was great.
Because why not?
Man, no, yeah. So her falling down the stairs was very much real. It wasn't exaggerative. That's the thing. Like some people, I'll see, and it's not often because people know that I like look for fights on social media. They're fully aware. But every so often, someone is ignorant and they'll go ahead and talk shit about me, and they're entitled to that. It's perfectly fine. But a lot of people make the mistake of assuming that like I exaggerate my stories for effect and whatnot. There's too many people who have personally been around to witness these things. So why lie? Like the stories is wild enough as they are. It's just the way that I tell stuff that I go from, you know, a normal communication skill to real country to fangirl within a moment's notice. So, but yeah, she fell down the stairs. She fell hard.
I'm sitting here cackling silently to myself
She fell
because there's a certain story that you and I know. There's a certain story about what is it? Do something.
See, me and him I have an actual story time that me and him have to tell about having nervous breakdowns in undergrad. And I'm just holding on to it for the right day when I know we have the time and the internet connection to really tell the story.
But just know when the midnight oil ran out.
When it ran out, it ran all the way out.
So what she says, she tells the story very well. She's not lying to you.
I tell a good story. I want to be the Matthew McConaughey of K-pop storytelling. Like, I really do. I have a story on hold. It's been on hold for at least 7 months now. I know everybody wants the vampires and all that, and I get that. It's never going to come back again because it was perfection. I can never emulate that. Some stuff don't need a sequel, not ever. But there is a story about the royal families of K-pop, and I really, really cannot wait to tell it. And that's more than one series. It's more than one part. So it ends on cliffhangers so that you have to come and listen to the rest of the story. But that's my goal. Like, I just want to get to a point where I'm known. Yes, there's nothing wrong with my fangirl versions and you know, here's a letter. It's fun to make those as good fan service and it's entertaining. But I want to be able to establish myself as your K-pop historian. In order to get that, you got to be real on the nose about stuff, but you can still tell stories in interesting ways. And there is literally a royal family within K-pop. And when you start looking at what makes something royalty, and then I explain it, you're gonna be like, oh my God. So like, I'm really eager to tell it, but it has to be told right, and it can't be in this foggy atmosphere with cameras. Like, it's gotta be right. Like, I'm gonna have to really differentiate myself when I do it. I have to. I suppose the whole time we were talking, I was sending a text message to someone and checking another message. I was looking for that moment where I had a meltdown in the EXO video where I try to hit Dio's note because clearly I lost my mind.
It was great.
I reached for that. Yeah, like I meant it. Like if Veins had a sound, mine's. Yeah. Like if Veins had a sound.
If Veins.
No, don't play. I'm ready for you to play. Okay, here we go. Because It literally comes from the moment of me screaming to the moment of me crying. That's the whole trajectory. This is why this is one of my favorite videos. Absolute favorite. Because I lost my whole soul. And I was trying so hard not to be broken. I was really, look at this quality. 480? What did I do to deserve that? Please give me some 720p.
That part just being played over and over again, and I live for it. Take your honey, yo! Mama, turn back, yeah! Mama, about all of y'all. Water, gotta make
my whole soul is about to crumble.
Look at
my whole soul is about to crumble.
I'm so sorry. That was not my intent.
Wow.
Yeah, my sister.
The my tears.
Quarter.
I'm a big fan. I'm trying to steal my places.
That's my jam forever. I had a nervous breakdown. Oh, Chris, I forgot. I hit that note with everything I had in me, okay?
Listen.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. My sister. There's no camera. My sister, the one who I threatened to drop kick in the store.
I'll kick it too.
She used to it.
Yes. Hello, Ashley. I just want to say, big fan. Stop trying to steal my biases.
I'm grateful
Right.
and what?
Right. Okay. So, top.
Who do we share?
No sharing. Top. Namjoon. It was somebody else you tried.
Wait. You were denying Namjoon until you were at the concert. You just yelled at his name like you were Stella.
Okay, so I guess I gotta tell a story of what had happened, right? BTS, first of all, let me explain. I love BTS. They are my nephews, for they are Jessica's children. And you got to love the babies. The way Jessica feels about BTS is how I feel about Big Bang. Like,
okay.
So we went to go see Wings in Anaheim, actually 3-year anniversary. What's up? And I had a great time. But again, I wasn't the biggest army. Still ain't. I'm reservist in the back row. Don't come for me. I'm just, I killed your mom.
That broke me.
Killed your mom. Killed your mom. I'm sorry.
Listen, I am in the bunker. Do you understand?
I'm reservist.
Just sitting 2 times a month, 3 months at it, I'm here for you. You know what I mean?
Oh,
don't come for it. I'm just telling you the truth. So we were. I was having a good time. I was feeling it. Cypher 4 came out. And I don't know what possessed me, what took over me, but Jessica said,